tracking rain, flooding concerns, and high surf. We've still seen those showers moving through areas of LA County into Orange County.
We have some opportunities of some thunder, lightning, more moderate rainfall coming in.
Breaking news, it's pouring in Temecula.
If it ain't raining, we ain't training. So show your ass up at 805 College Boulevard, Suite 103 at 10 a.m. this Saturday for your free VA loan masterclass. Let's go.
All right, YouTubers, today we're at episode 3 of the Taste of Temecula, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, wineries in Temecula, you are in trouble. As you can see, we coming out with the bags, man. Hey, Baily's Winery set the tone, and the ambiance was crazy, the wine was good, and we actually got to meet the owner. Can you tell us something about the owner?
Yeah, so we got Army veteran. He's actually one of the 12 original owners for all of the Temecula winery out here. So it's the only winery right now that is still owned, operated, and ran by the original owner. So Ian, what did you think about the wine and what was your favorite, man?
I liked it, as you can tell, right? Walking out double-barreled. It was great wine. We tried the Meritage, the Grand Reserve, the Cabernet, and both of the dessert wines. All of them nailed the bullseye. Fantastic wines across the board. We're definitely coming back to try out the restaurant as well, so that way we can give them our food recommendation as well.
Now, what we're going to do also, guys, is check out our next episode where you will see Ian Jensen filtering the wine through his beard, okay, and then actually getting a real taste of Temecula with a little bit of coarse hair. Let's go.
Classy.
Classy.
We want people to know not only the issue, and we want people to know where there are military-friendly places, so that as everybody comes over here, stationed at Camp Pendleton and on the military bases, then they know, our backyard and then everything else.
Good. Yeah, I'm a veteran, so we picked the
Really? What branch, sir?
Army.
Okay, well we won't hold it against you.
So you guys must be Marines.
Indeed.
My father was in the Army for 32 years.
Yeah, I was only in 3 years. It was about 60 years ago.
You got to let us know your workout regimen, because you look fantastic, my friend.
Yeah, yesterday was my 85th birthday. So.
Oh, happy birthday.
Good for you.
That's awesome. I'll be 21 on the 20th month, so we share the same month.
Yeah, not to mention, the wine must be doing something good for you. The antioxidants.
Thank you. Yeah, I was in Army intelligence. I was stationed in DC, and then I was in Germany for about a year or so.
Oh,
Nice.
what years?
62 to 65.
62, 65, yeah.
Yep. And I lived in Germany in 1983 to 85, and my father. So, where were we? Either Oberstein.
Yeah, that wasn't far from. We were in Kaiserslautern, which I think either Oberstein was between Kaiserslautern and Mainz or something.
Yes.
Where did you, where was home before the Army?
Whittier. I grew up in
okay.
Whittier, yeah.
So you came right back.
Yeah, came back.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what did you do before you started the winery?
I was an actuary, a retirement consultant, and
Wow.
worked for a consulting firm in LA.
Oh, that's an interesting job.
So, but yeah, it was. We I got to be about 40. My wife was a little younger than I. We decided we wanted to do something together. And, we just sold the house, moved to Temecula, and figured out what to do. So we had no intention of starting a winery when we came here, but we got to know the other people in the wine business back then. They all came from other professions, and they were all self-taught. So we started taking courses at UC Davis, UC Riverside, and Spot. Learned how to make wine, grow grapes, and started out in '86. So
That's awesome.
We weren't the first one. There was a dozen wineries ahead of us. The first one was Callaway in '74. But all the wineries that were here ahead of us are either not here anymore and sold to other people. So we're now the oldest winery here.
So we read.
The longest owned, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we read that you started planning around 1981, right? And then in 1986, of the 12 owners, so now you were the only one in the valley that is owner operated and ran, and it's veteran owned. That is amazing.
It is awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely good for a narrative.
Well, let's go inside, guys. What do you
Yeah, I
think?
was just gonna say.
Get out of the freezer. I'm warm-blooded.
Yeah.
When did you build this building?
2000, or actually 91.
I like that. I like the style you did. Or castle.
We moved in here in 2000. I guess it was 2000.
How did you do it before the main tasting room was built?
We had a tasting room down the road here a little bit. And our original winery, where our house is, was Harbor Road. That started at 86. So we expanded that quite a bit in 2001. Right over there, some tasting room, our winemaking facility here.
Yeah. And so you like, was this like a farm that you got, and then you kind of expanded it to your house, or was it like you started the house and then bought the farm?
We bought the house first, and all it was the house on an empty parcel. We started planted that, and then we bought the 10 acres next to us and planted that, and then bought another 20-acre parcel behind Wilson Creek Winery.
Okay.
So how many? So this is a 10-acre. Your property is located on this winery.
Yeah, we actually have 3 areas here, total of 45 acres.
Oh wow.
25 of it is engaged.
Yeah. Wow. Where do you process? Do you process here? Or do you...
No, and that's at Pablo Road. I don't know. Pablo and Di Portola were up above. We're on Pablo up above Di Portola about a quarter of a mile. So our house, winery, originally winery, the current production facility, some of our grapes are there.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. Now, I do have a question in regard to like, how have you been able to stay in business without everybody else selling out here? Because I know it's been a lot of turnover.
Yeah, I don't know. We just work hard.
Just love what you do.
Tend to do everything ourselves, keep the debt low. So, but our son, both our sons are involved part-time, and our grandson's involved, and so we have a lot of help, and
It's a family business.
but anyway, yeah, it's definitely getting. It was definitely easier to make a buck 20 years ago than it is right now.
I can imagine, right? Yeah.
That's awesome. So then Kelly mentioned to us that what's unique about you guys is that you don't import from anywhere else, and that
Yeah, we
everything
grow
you guys have-
all of our own grapes.
so that everything you guys have, you guys grow yourselves, not bringing from other places as most of the other wineries.
I don't know. Yeah, I think most of the wineries are using Temecula grapes, but they don't all grow there on it. So for the industry as a whole, most wineries don't grow all their own grapes. They buy grapes from growers. It's people that just grow grapes. But it's a smaller percentage that grow all their own grapes. It's easier.
And if somebody wanted to get into the winery business, what advice would you give them today? Ask the hard questions.
I'd say stay out. No, it's not. It's not because it's not a good idea, but there's just too many wineries right now. I mean, there's hundreds of more wineries in California than there were Realty started, and so many people say, "Oh, let's just buy some grapes, start a little winery," and it's just the market's saturated, and I think the drinking habits of people are changing a little bit too. I think people are drinking less. I don't know, marijuana's had an effect, I think.
I didn't think about that.
And so, but here in Temecula, we definitely have, in my opinion, you have just got too many wineries for the number of people that are coming. They're spread out all the way.
But now, Phil, there's got to be something about it where you guys have a cutting edge. So I was looking over the bar, and I couldn't help but notice all the bottles that were over there with some medals and awards hanging from them. What would you tell us is your best-selling wine that you have, and also the one that's won the most amount of awards?
You know, it's we're proud of all the wines, and so you know, best selling is related to price. I mean, even though your best wine might, you know, is going to be your most expensive, not everybody can afford the most expensive. But so the top selling wine is kind of irrelevant because that tends to be the lowest priced ones. So it's economics. It's the basic law of economics. You know, the more something costs, the less you sell of it. You know,
The realism here.
but I think what the answer you're looking for is what are we proudest of or something, and I'd say probably the Cabernet Sauvignon which is not our most expensive, but it's closer to our most expensive than to our herbs.
And what's your favorite, red or white?
I like them both, depending on what I'm eating. You know, if I'm having fish, I like nice dry white wine with it. On steak, you want a nice red wine with it. So, but that's why, you know, one thing that's interesting right now is there tends to be a lot of people that don't even want to taste the white wine. They just, I only drink reds. I only drink, and you know, and I think they're missing out on. But let's try it. I mean, they're all nice, and you know, they're well made, and but a nice crisp white wine is nicer on a summer afternoon than a room temperature red wine.
It's very
Heavy
true.
red wine, so no. But anyway, we try to, when people tell us that, we usually the people behind the bar say, well, you know, why don't you just try this one, you know, and maybe give it another chance. We won't charge you for this tasting, you know, and you know, most of the people say, hey, this is good, you know. So I think, I don't know, it might be a psychological thing with some people, with some men. They think that, you know, drinking red wine is somehow more masculine than drinking white wine, you know. That might be partly the thing.
And I'm glad you shared that because, you know, when I started first drinking wine, I was drinking white because I didn't know about reds. And usually now I'm starting to see more people drink reds because, I don't know, because it's more popular, I guess.
When we started the business back then, more white wine was sold than red wine. And now it's the opposite. But with most people, it's like you start out, if your first taste of wine or something, if it's a red wine, you go, oh, this is kind of bitter, this is kind of sharp. And the white wine, especially if it's got a little sugar, hey, this tastes pretty good. So the natural progression for most people when they start drinking wine at age 21 or something is to start with sweeter white wines, and then as they evolve, their taste kind of goes drier, and then they go to the red wines and the drier whites and so on.
That is exactly what happened to me.
Yep.
So I started with Moscato, and I think I started because I heard it in a song somewhere, and then I'm like, oh, let me try it out, and then you know, never drank wine, never had, you know, a taste for it, and then I met my wife, and she loved wine, so inherently I had to love wine too. So then we moved to Temecula. So I moved out here to Temecula. I'm like, well, you know, the views are amazing, might as well try it. And then I just developed a taste for it. And now, I mean, wine for me is at the top of the list compared to anything else. I'll drink wine over a beer, over tequila, you know. So Marines, don't hate on me, okay? So,
He's retired now.
but we love it.
Well, my first taste of wine was a very special one. It was called Boone's Farm back in the day. It was a very classy wine, and that was my first taste of wine, and I never went back.
Yeah, I remember that one. And back when I was in high school,
You're a Franzia man.
the thing that
Pardon?
Were you a Franzia man?
No. Back then, the big thing was Ripple. Have you ever heard of Ripple?
Yes.
That was made by Gallo. They're kind of like Boone's Farm, you know.
Ripple is old. That is definitely.
You have an X on the
They're
side.
not old enough. Come on.
Well, I know more. Night Train,
Yeah, man.
old stuff.
Night Train.
Yeah.
Night Train Lane. Do you remember him?
Yes. Well, thank you for your hospitality.
Well, you're welcome.
Inviting us in. And you ready to taste some wine?
Yeah, you guys
Let's do it.
definitely
Start
have some
from
wine. You know, just definitely taste some wine. So, on the house, of course. So,
Thank you.
Let's try it out. Let's try it out.
so you said you guys are on active duty now, or you are?
No, so we're all veterans. Both of us retired, and then also started the Marine Corps with us.
Yeah, and we have a pretty big. Our office is in Oceanside, and we have. I would probably say at least 90% of the people that work in our organization is veterans and military spouses.
Or tied to them somehow with a family member.
Our grandson-in-law just retired from the Marines. He was what's a big helicopter? Yeah, he was an Osprey pilot. And he just became about 6 months ago a United Airmen's pilot. So, they live in Oceanside, and he's based out of.
It's good to see him.
He was a Naval Academy graduate too. So
Smarty pants.
I'll show Yes. I did it the old school way. We all of us went to boot camp, so we were enlisted in.
yeah, I was enlisted, man.
That's right.
Even though I started right out of college, back when I got out of college, the draft was on. So I did. Crucial. One of my very good previous year, Perez. Second, the draft was you went in for 2 years, then you were on reserve for 6 or something. But if you enlisted, you could pick where you wanted to go and be in for 3 years, and then have a minimal reserve commitment. It was still 3 more years, but you didn't go to meetings or anything. And so I opted to go in for 3 years, and I was in Army Intelligence. And the big thing was that my fraternity brother also said, "Oh yeah, and you get and you don't have to wear a uniform. You're on civilian clothing status." Because what we were doing was we were doing background investigations, and then we were kind of like Department of Armed Civilians or something. But it was the first couple years I was doing background investigations in D.C. But the last year when I was in Germany, I was basically doing nothing for a year. It was so bad. We used to volunteer for window washing details and things like that, just to have a feeling of accomplishment and something.
Well, that's what these 2 gentlemen did. They let you know?
No.
Intel also.
Okay.
Intel. Both of them.
Yeah, it was back then. It was called Army Intelligence Corps, and prior to that it was called CIC. But when I was in it was just Army Intelligence Corps, and it was basically counterintelligence. What I was doing over in Germany was going through newspapers and identifying possible, agents and crap like that. It's stupid.
Made it through.
Well, I definitely want to say, officers, you got to step up to the plate because enlisted men own wineries. So, just saying, aim high. What I will say is that, the feel of this winery just coming in makes us feel like home.
Mm-hmm. It's very peaceful.
It's very welcoming.
Yes.
That's definitely something that you don't feel at the other ones that we've been to so far. But just the feel of the and you know what, the curb appeal also. Mm-hmm. Driving past it, it looks like you're gonna have some good wine here.
Sophisticated, yeah.
and I think that the setting is different. It feels unique, right? So compared to a lot of the other places that we've been to, we're members at a lot of different ones too. It's different and unique, and it makes you want to, it makes me curious. So coming in here, I'm just like, oh man, and it was one surprise after another in a very pleasant way, where it's like, oh man, well, that's unique. Oh well, that's pretty cool. And then we come up here, and then like I said, Kelly's over here putting me up on the wine game. So I'm excited. I even bought a book. Right, that they put together talking about all the different wineries. So that's gonna be super helpful in what we're doing as we go from winery to winery, because now we can say a few facts about some of the ones there at Pitt. Yeah, this is awesome so far. I like it.
All right. Well, I know you said you wanted to try one or two whites and then a couple of reds.
Yeah, Scott. Okay, so what's your best, or not best? I would say. What was the criteria? Not the best selling, but the most award winning.
For the dry whites, try the Montage is really nice, and the dry Riesling is a little different too, because it's Riesling's usually made a little bit sweeter. It's going, and and then our new rosé is really nice. So to try the Montage and the rosé there.
There you go. Let's do it. I'm going for the cab though. I don't care what you say. I'm trying that.
Now we're out.
No. Okay. I'm out of here.
All right, so we got the 2021 Montage.
I hear this is what you do. Hanger roast too. Yeah, of course. Come on.
Oh, you're right.
Great glasses. Oh, wait, it's smaller.
But yeah, that's probably what you're getting on the nose and intake. Sorry, Simeon grape.
Yeah.
So it's a blend of the Sauv Blanc and a Simeon.
I kind of smell an apple.
That's good. Yeah, I smell some type of syrup. Yeah, bam.
You ever drink Calvados?
We win for the win. Cheers to the win.
Cheers, guys. Oh, did you get the Italy on the shot?
Yeah, that was coming out of Temecula. I was like, where did this all come from?
It's gonna be another way to you.
It's crisp.
It's crisp. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's good. That was really good.
It's crisp like an apple. Yeah, like I was wondering if there's
it doesn't have like that really punchy wine of flavor.
Yeah.
It's just really clean. And it's coming to you. Yeah, it's really clean.
It's clean, crisp. Oh yeah. I definitely could have this with a nice sea bass.
A stripped
bass of the sea.
Sea bass
With some Asian peas.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Where's the oyster crackers, Kelly? May we have some?
Don't care about that.
I'm actually, that is the fourth criteria that we're judging people on too, is the quality of the
Quality of the crackers.
of the
crunch,
palate cleansers. Yes.
The actual crunch of the crackers and the sound of these are actually in like a little.
Yeah. These are definitely the MacArthur's ones, I can tell.
Nice packaging.
Exceptional. You can tell it's good because of the way it is.
Look a while ago. But they're impressing me. There was hardly anything to it. I would say.
One favorite line.
This is the best thing.
I would recommend, I know he said the Montage, but I would recommend trying the Chardonnay and the dry Riesling.
Oh, what was this then?
That was Montage.
That was Montage. Okay, right?
Yeah.
That was great.
See, she knows what's up. Chardonnay.
So would you like to do Chardonnay? I'm down with the Chardonnay.
And the dry Rieslings. It's really a lovely wine. It came out last spring, and I sell a lot of it. It's just because I'm not a big sweet wine drinker, but that dry Riesling is nice and crisp and just perfect.
It smells hard. 4 to 7 inches.
Well, Chardonnay, Tintoretto.
This is the
That's
Chardonnay.
totally different. That is completely different.
Yeah, from the Montage. Yeah, it's nice though. It's a really nice, as I said, aged in steel.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
It's very butter, like smooth.
It's smooth, but you get that green apple. That good green apple.
It's very refreshing. Big fan. You said this is another really one that you guys have won a lot of awards with.
Our new Chardonnay.
And that's the sure.
This is the new one that just came out.
Oh yeah, that too.
How long does it have to age in a stainless barrel versus a cask?
It's just in the just during the fall, so 2-3 months from the time it's pressed till then it's bottled.
No, so not bad.
So normally the whites are picked middle of August to late August, beginning in September, and then they're bottled in middle of November.
Okay,
So
not bad. And how long do you have to age in a barrel for like?
whites never go in the barrel. They just go right to the bottle. At least ours. There are some exceptions to that, but some Chardonnays go in the barrel for a while. But our whites are all just no barrels, and then the reds go into barrels in November, December, and then they're in for 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Now, the type of barrel, are you sourcing them from here, or how many times do you utilize a barrel before you swap?
So we use them really quick. Each year we use half new oak barrel. We can have 3-year-old barrels because we're on that 3-year program, 2.5 years. So they're basically barrels we use. Most of you 6 years, so for 3 years the first time, and then 3 years the second time. Some of the wines, like they don't want any oak influence, so they use 6-year-old barrels. New barrels impart an oak flavor. Older barrels don't, because it gets.
And did you just get like extracted already? Right. Oh.
I do have one more question. Now, I noticed that your vineyard is highly manicured, because what I've noticed is that when I go to other wineries, where the grapes are in,
weeds are everywhere.
There's just a.
You mean a bunch of weeds and then down the road and so on. Yeah, this one, our other vineyard is not so neatly manicured because it's not where people go. It's not essential, but it just looks nice. So this is the one where people go. So which you can't give a little extra. Keep it.
Maybe that was that drill sergeant in you.
Yeah, no, that's good. My wife is like that. She's actually that's one of the things I used to say. I said I was the biggest thing I learned in basic training was how to see.
That's true, though.
This looks clean to me. Yeah, no, it is. Wrong. That's where you're wrong.
That's funny that she say that, because him and I both were drill instructors at MCID San Diego. One thing that when you leave that place, your attention to detail is insane.
And it never goes away.
It never goes away. Everything bothers me. Like I see a speck of dirt on the floor or something, and I'm like,
Wrinkle on someone's glove.
I'm not sure it stayed with me, man.
You're getting every last drop out of this one.
I like the first one better.
That was really good. I like how, but maybe that's why this one I'm used to.
Everybody likes something different, and everybody's tastes, your tastes are different. One of the things that I learned along the way is that people have different numbers of taste buds on them. Some people have way lot more taste buds than other people, and in general, women have more taste buds than men. But
So you do have better taste.
What that means is that your person with a lot of taste buds is more sensitive to bitter things.
Oh.
So that way, like you're doing a red wine with a friend or something, you say, God, this is kind of bitter, astringent. The other guy says, no, it's good. It's smooth to me, And that probably means he has less taste buds.
Oh.
Well, you would think if they had more taste buds, then they would pick a place to eat faster.
No, that's why.
I'm joking.
Did you hear that? He said that. Okay. Anthony Glenn II.
Honey, you're an amazing person, and I love you. You're a great mother at all time.
So I have one more question. What advice would you give your first year winery owner today? If you can go back in time and say, hey, this is the advice that I would give you if you're going to go through this venture, what advice would you give yourself?
I get asked that question all the time. I never have a good answer.
It's gonna be good for us.
You know, I think the most important things in making wine is like say the attention to detail. You know, bad wine is the result of winemaking mistakes. It's not the result of bad grapes or bad weather or whatever. Well, it's because you didn't do something very one way. So, and I think another thing is, if you are going to be making wine, it's you really need a good palate. You need a tongue with a lot of taste buds, and
Well, not bad. No, what that is, it'd be the, just be tasting wine all the time, really thinking about. So, but
wine is the actual process of making wine is not very complicated, but a lot of things can go wrong. I mean, we like to say sometimes that basically God makes wine, but God makes vinegar too. So we got to be in there somewhere.
Long as you're in the middle.
You want the cap?
I want to try this Cabernet.
Well, it's a good choice. Here.
Are you a red wine guy or are you a white?
I'm still learning.
Cav's a good starter.
This is a very good cab.
I'm excited. Sticks to me a little.
That one?
Oh no. Oh good.
Great smell.
Put a beard in there. A bit. I'm gonna do the same thing. A little bit.
Awesome. I love the smell, right? What we got? Aromas. Berries. Yeah, that's what smells.
It smells nice. That smells good.
Smells very good.
Really nice.
What is it? Do you want me to tell you, or I was just reading it so I can?
Well, no, I mean, so like, yeah, smell
Tell you what
first.
you're smelling.
I smell freedom.
I smell sunshine. Smell love.
Man, what's the first thing that?
Oh, wow.
Right. I can't figure it. I want to say, I don't want to be wrong, but it smells like a flower. Okay, this is best. I don't know where to feel.
No, I get the berries.
I can smell the berry. I smell the berry.
I'm up Winery.
Oh, that is different though. That's a great cab. Thank you. That's a great cab. Like I'm shamefully. You're getting the accolades of an amateur, but
A case pepper. Am I right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Cabernet often has bell pepper, all this, or mint. You know, if you think mint, sure.
I'm getting none of these.
This is really good.
Yeah, big fan. Okay, so what's the difference? So Cab Sauv and Cab Franc, those are different grapes,
Yeah,
right?
different grapes, but they're related. The Cabernet Franc is actually a parent of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh.
And the other parent is a white wine grape, Sauvignon Blanc, and the other parent of Cabernet Sauvignon.
No way. What do you like better, the Sauv or the Franc?
I like them both. We're different.
They're different.
Both good wines.
The owner. He likes them all.
Of course he does. I made it. These are all my children.
It's like asking which one do you like better, your daughter or your son?
Yeah. You have an answer.
No, I do not. I love them. Yeah, Carson and Anthony, they're trying to bait me into a war. But Carson, you are more athletic, and Anthony, you're more ashy. Put on more lotion, Sam. All right. Oh. I like his.
That was outstanding.
This is good.
I'm getting one.
So I like the first white better than the second part. I like. Well, I need to taste another red.
Do it again.
Ambiance.
Oh, have you guys ever gone to the restaurant?
I've never been here, period.
Period. Yeah, me neither.
I have.
The restaurant?
And they have art in there. They have like art on the wall.
No.
I think you should ask them.
Like a mural or
walk
like
through there to get. You might need to walk through there to get. Yeah. So they have like on the other side over there. They have like a big art stuff like this. It's like medieval stuff in there.
That's what I like about this place. It's like
Well, it's just, it's a block wall, right? But it's like warm.
like warm environment.
That's you, right?
Try the Cab Sauv, and I would recommend if you want to try another one, that either with the Grand Reserve or the Meritage. The Grand Reserve, most of his wines are aged about 30 months in the barrel, but his Grand Reserve has aged 4 years in the barrel. And then he puts it in the bottle for 2 years and then brings it to me. So it's very complex. There's a lot going on in there. You get a little bit of the vanilla that's naturally occurring in oak, and then you get it's kind of the other oaky flavors, a little bit of, some people, I feel like there's a little bit of smokiness in there, which could be from how they seal the barrels. But I really like it.
We absolutely want that.
Definitely want to try it. Absolutely do.
This bottle is quite bloody.
It's called Grand Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon.
Any place that has gargoyles is okay by me. So.
And this is
The whole design was by Carol Baily, his wife.
Not really.
And all the gargoyles, in fact, the restaurant is full of gargoyles and swords and shields and more coats of armor.
Is there a way we can look at it? Yeah.
You want to do this good? Yeah, there we go.
That is totally different. That is totally different.
Spice there.
Got a lot going on in Temecula. It's lovely. That's yours.
That is. Yeah, it's a totally different color and everything.
So the little bit, right, that I started to try and I learned about, not yet, one of the things that you select as you're spinning it around like this, right, so what you're really looking for is the legs, right? As soon as you see it kind of come down as the legs. And then one of the things that I've kind of picked up from living out here is one of the things that people do, they'll kind of turn it to the side, right? And that's when they're looking, for the sediments and kind of seeing how fine or whatever it is.
That is amazing. Big fan.
What I've learned is how many bubbles are in it. It's going to tell you how delicious it is. So if it's bubbly, then it's going to be good. Oh, wow.
Yeah, different.
Oh, wow. This does that. We definitely have definitely flavor.
No, that was amazing.
We have to get a picture with you, T. You can't get away. All right.
No, I don't know which one I like more, actually. They're totally different, but this one's like very...
Damn, that's
a fancy. It's really fancy. It's like really, really different, but it's like really good.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm really glad I never got like my former opinions.
You know what?
About some wines on
everything on this. You know what? Everything on here that I've noticed, everything on here is affordable too.
I did notice that.
It's not super.
It's still family owned. You know what I mean? They don't have 25 different investors to pay off before they make a profit.
Okay. Rating times.
You got some very good.
Tens.
No,
Rating times.
Tens.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna keep this paper. If we can keep this right, keep it corner. Yeah. Okay.
Get it back now. Okay. Just autograph it.
Tens.
Give me a sec. Along, the first category is
On
oh yeah, here it's
right.
ambiance.
Yep. Spirit, and customer service.
Customer service. Okay. Ian, ambiance.
10 for me. Whatever you gonna do.
Or a 5, Jack.
He's like, I still stand by my 10. I give it a 5. Oh, for sure. What do you give it, a 5?
Yeah.
5's across the board.
It's so cozy here. Like it's because you're just hanging at somebody's house. Yeah. No, NA, not a picture.
But they have a restaurant.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Gotta come back.
So we gotta come back. Okay. So
no, please don't twist my arm.
My rubber arm. Red. No. Outstanding. Bars.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.
No.
Yeah, right. It's yours.
3.5. Okay.
Okay. Lights.
So, Jen.
Like, I'm not trying to sound like I'm just like being blanket, but I don't know a lot about whites, but I really enjoyed the montage.
The Chardonnay, I don't know. I've had a lot of Chardonnays. Fives, absolutely.
Damn. Handing out 5s like 1s, Jack. This ain't a strip club.
That's right.
Jeez. White.
So for the whites, I'll give it a 4.5, just because the montage was off the chain. The Chardonnay was really good too, but I'm gonna reserve my half a point for something that just, I agree.
Yeah.
For I don't even know what.
Yep. Whites, I give a 4.
Okay. And then customer service. Customer service. 1 out of 5. I will give it a 15.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. You know, out of all of the wineries so far that we've been to, because we've been to a whole lot of them. We only did one, by the way. But anyways, I want to tell you, it's gonna be tough to top the customer service here, because right now,
You guys have been to a lot of different wineries.
this place, just the, you know, it's the attention to detail stuff. One thing that I noticed about the ambiance of the place is that it's clean. This is not cluttered. It feels warm in here. And I look at stuff like, what is your what do the vineyards look like around the place? It is immaculate outside, okay, and inside as well. And it's a warm, inviting place. And then also, customer service can't beat it.
You can't top it. I mean, so it's one of those things where when I walked in here, as we said before, I was kind of taken back by just the environment. I felt it was unique. Wasn't really expecting it to look the way that it does, and as soon as I walked in, I was pleasantly surprised. The greeting that we got, from Miss Kelly here working, it was amazing, all the way to her communicating with the owner, and then the owner making his way down to come meet us, to come talk to us, and lo and behold, it's a fellow veteran, just like the rest of us. So, definitely at the top for me. Highly recommended. And it's one of those things, man. Support small businesses and support veteran-owned businesses above everything else.
Outstanding.
Yeah, well,
We got a new high score.
how to film something. Kelly, I'm gonna tell you, you've been fantastic.
Seriously.
All I do are nonsense. It's really.
Did you want to try this as well?
Do you live in Temecula?
You do. I retired after 38 years working in government and came up here because it's just peaceful. And bought a house up here, and thought after 4 months I was doing this one. I was like, I can't do it. So, wow, I can go out and one.
Georgia, try this one.
It smells amazing.
Oh man, I know that. Listen, the ladies will be open to tasting it.
I haven't tasted it, and
You don't mind.
the smell, just the smell.
I actually like it.
The smell alone blows you away. Like it's this.
So it's them? Oh, let me smell it. You know what? They have not. Look, check this out. This place. Check this out on this. This place did not miss. This right here is LeBron James of